Not got the microphone on. I was a bit of a disaster. Right. I'm on day 4 of my alcohol withdrawal. Going sober. Going sober, completely and utterly sober. Not going to drink any alcohol at all ever. You see the tag in that. Right. So I was looking online about alcohol withdrawal syndrome, which is what um, people who are dependent on alcohol can go through when they withdraw. And I've seen a couple of people when I've on the rare occasions that I've been in A&E. I've seen people that are suffering from severe alcohol withdrawal, and it's important to remember that if you are physically dependent upon alcohol and you stop completely, you run the risk of let's say a day or two after you stop drinking, you run the risk of having seizures, quite serious seizures, which can lead to death, basically. Um, and there's all sorts of really bad things. There's delirium tremens. That's where they call them the DTs, where apparently people shake and hallucinate and see things. That normally kicks in after about 48 hours. I am now what's 424s? Well, it's almost 100, isn't it? I'm 100 hours into it. And the there's a few things that I've noticed. I do feel like um, I feel more achy than I normally do because I normally get aches and pains, sign of my age. But it feels like it's like it's nothing as serious as the flu, but it feels like the flu. It's just like, oh god, general aching. Um, I think I said earlier, although my hands are not tremoring very much there, when I try and do precision stuff, my I tried to video it earlier, but it just wouldn't. I couldn't get a decent shot of it because I'm building this Lego model. Some just occupy my mind while we're on lockdown. Um, yeah, so I've been getting that, and I think that's definitely got to be something to do with alcohol withdrawal. Most of the I've obviously not got the DTs. I haven't kicked into that. I'm not hallucinating or I'm not sweating. I don't know about my blood pressure. I've not tested that because you can get high blood pressure. What else? Let me have a look at these things on here. Um, you got like yeah. I mean, it says it can be life threatening. Um, it can affect like your heart and basically it can kill you. But I've just got a general feeling of uh physical tiredness. My body feels, like I say, a bit achy. um I'm not tired. I'm not tired in my head. And also I'm sleeping well. I think I said last night or the night before that I take my evening meds, and after about an hour I normally nod off. um so I'm not getting any of the side effects in a bad way. Um, the the shaking when I'm trying to do precision work, it's literally goes like that, and I end up throwing things across the room because I can't control. It's like my hands going to spasm and my arms. It's actually I'd imagine if you watched it, it'd be quite amusing, but it's not amusing for me. Um, I've had to give up doing the Lego model. I've got to wait until I've got through this bit, which apparently can last anywhere from 24 hours up to like a week. And I've I've been experiencing that for 2 days, so yesterday and today, um, and it's bloody annoying. I'll tell you that. Um, I've just had something to eat, a bit late, really, um, and yeah, I I am quite proud of myself because I've managed to get through these last 2 days, which have been quite emotionally distressful for me, and I've managed to get through them without touching a drop of alcohol. So it's like give yourself a pat on the back, that kind of thing. Um, I've I feel more focused in my head. Um, the days seem longer because I'm waking up earlier. I'm not drinking so much soft drinks, so many soft drinks because I'm not waking up completely dehydrated. I mean, when I was drinking, um, I'd wake up in the morning if I'd had a lot the night before, but like more than usual. I wake up in the morning and I would probably get through. I wake up late morning. I'd probably get through about 10 uh, cans of Pepsi, um, just because I just need to get um, fluids back in me. So I'm not doing that. My toilet habits are better. I won't go into too much detail. I normally get IBS anyway, but it's worsened by alcohol. It's like a nightmare. Um, so that's a good thing as well. But yeah, like I say, the days are longer, so sometimes the days are too long. Like like yesterday was too long because I was going through all this emotional turmoil. Um, and today's been quite long as well because I had a bit of bad news in the morning, and so yeah, I I tried to focus, inwards on myself and my own well-being. Um, this is the thing about mental health problems. You have to focus on your your inner person to kind of push through stuff. It's um it's really important, and you know I it's difficult for some people because they don't understand mental health problems. Sorry, I'm slipping into bipolar and borderline. Um, People don't understand the health problems, so when they see your bad behaviour, they basically think you're a twat, um, and they don't like you. Um, and then when they see your good behaviour, they they just think, well, that person can't have any mental health issues because like he's smiling, he's having a laugh and a joke. Um, so it's difficult to get that fine balance between getting people to understand what I go through sometimes. Um, I would say the stopping drinking has certainly helped, especially like I say, because the last 2 days have been really, really traumatic for me, and it just kind of helps because I've got, like I say, I've got a clear head, and and the borderline personality disorder was always made worse by alcohol. Um, Most definitely. You know, I could go into rages more quickly, and I would say as well. You know, I've not been out today. I would say that I'm a lot calmer during the day as well. You know, where ordinarily you know, like I would drive in the car and I'm like sober, but I'm probably knackered from you know, the night before drinking alcohol and everything. So and that affects my mood as well. Um, but yeah, it's I wanted people to kind of come along the ride with me. This this withdrawal. I am going completely and utterly. Sorry, I'm going completely and utterly cold turkey. Um, my alcohol counsellor said that I should consider having a couple of cans of lager every day. Just cut it down and then stop. Um, but no, I wanted to do cold. I wanted to do cold turkey. And I mean, she also said about giving me some meds that will reduce the cravings and everything. I think they give you benzodiazepam if you've got real bad withdrawal symptoms as well. But I haven't got any cravings at all. I know it's only 4 days in, but I I I like to think that a lot of people think I'm weak, especially when they see me when I'm depressed. Um, I am incredibly strong-willed when it comes to something that I've set my mind on. If I set my mind on like this, cutting out alcohol completely and utterly, um, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to I'm not going to slip back into the old ways. Um, Today has been was was quite stressful because of bad news that I got this morning. Um, and I tried to remove that bad news like to the back of my mind, like introducing things that I enjoy doing, like watching crap on YouTube. I've not watched any TV, any Netflix at all. I don't watch TV, but um, I, I I tried to do a bit of that Lego building. Like I say, my hands are all over the place, and I've just tried to focus on uh, myself and yeah, I've got my my sister cares for me. She don't literally care for me, but she cares about me then. Um, but that is literally the only person who understands me, um, kind of accepts me for who I am. So like you know, she's seen me hypomanic and she's seen me depressed. And although she sometimes like nags me, she kind of understands. She kind of gets it, which is good. So I've said before in other videos, it's very difficult to find a partner that's willing to put up with that. Um, it just seems like nowadays people don't kind of forgive and then move on, move forwards, whatever. So yeah, stressful day today, and I combated it by just chilling and I didn't even not even stepped out of the house today. Um, Trying to think what turned up. Oh, I got a new router that turned up. Yeah, it's just the days are so long, so I've got all this time on my hands. I should be doing work. Should be writing. Um, I did write a poem earlier. Um, I think it's on my blog. Um, but I can't focus on writing at the moment because the events of the last couple of days have like part of my French totally fucked with my head and I'm really you know I I have to have an active mind for something outside of my own head. So that's like helping me. And and when I write, I go right into my head and think of all the bad things and some of the good things that I've experienced in life, and yeah, kind of write stuff. But I don't want to. I don't want to delve into my mind. I don't want to be introspective at the moment. I don't want to. I'm not ready to process. Excuse me, bad news at the moment. I don't want to. I don't need to. As I say, I'm completely and utterly avoiding alcohol completely. There is, excuse me, there is alcohol in the house. I've got half a bottle of whiskey up there on the optics. There's a full bottle of gin there. That wasn't mine. That was somebody else's. And there's half a bottle of gin downstairs. I don't drink gin. It's a lady's drink, isn't it? So yeah, I'm feeling pretty positive about the way this is going. Like I say, I'm not experiencing really bad withdrawal effects. So the most annoying thing is the shaking of my hands when I try and concentrate on something. Um, it is quite funny to watch, I suppose, but it's also quite annoying. So that is the only thing that I'm really struggling with at the moment. And yeah, I just don't feel so dehydrated. I feel kind of like normal, which is the way it should be. I've spoken to a couple of friends today. Well, not spoken to, but like text and messenger and all that kind of thing. And they they've all the ones that I've spoken to have been very positive, like basically saying, "Yes, you can do this. It's going to be better for you and everything," and that's good. That is really good. Because although it wouldn't really affect me if somebody said to me, you won't stay off the drink," I know that I will, and that's it. When I eventually move house, I won't bother taking the alcohol with me. I'm just gonna it's going to be an alcohol-free zone, basically. I'm not going to become one of these lunatics that uh, chides other people because they're drinking alcohol. That's People are entitled to do what the fuck they want with their bodies. If they want to fill it full of marijuana, cocaine, or Jim Beam, then so be it. I I'm just focusing on myself. The last couple of days, I've been focusing on somebody else, and I really, in in hindsight, as to how it all turned out, then I really shouldn't have. I shouldn't have allowed myself to get taken in. And I've said before about lowering my barriers. The, the it's did I probably mentioned it earlier about it just kind of proved my abandonment fear. And sometimes that's a self perpetuating thing, in so much as you can absolutely ruin a relationship by acting out, which is with the BPD, definitely like shouting, getting upset, crying and all. So basically being highly strung. But I wasn't. I have not been highly strung or anything over the last couple of days. I've been as calm as a Hindu cow. I'm just like chilled, um, and I would say that is all down to stopping drinking alcohol. It's I mean, I would say in my life now, things are going to change in the future. Like I say, I'm going to move to another place in the village, hopefully. My sister was on about moving up to Leeds. I'm still not too sure about that. Um, I've got like two or three friends that I could meet, and they wouldn't want to drink alcohol all night, that kind of thing down here. Whereas if I got up there, I'm gonna have to make new friends. I'm 51. I haven't got the inclination to make new friends. I generally am not a big fan of people anyway. They generally annoy me. I was saying to sorry, I've gone off the go sober thing. It's just like an anecdote. I was saying to my counsellor, this was towards the end of last year. I started to get really stressed out. I was walking. We've got some lakes in just on the outskirts of Peterborough. It's called Ferry Meadows, and you can walk all the way around it. Well, these interlinked lakes, and so I always walk clockwise, and I always walk on the left hand side of the path. And so if I see people walking towards me, that kind of freaks me out because they're actually breaking the rules. They're basically going they're going anti-clockwise. And then if they're walking towards me and they're on the wrong side of the path, i.e., they're on their right hand side of the path, straight for me, and I have to move out the way, that just completely freaks me out as well. Um, I mean that is part of the borderline personality disorder. It's like having unreasonable kind of expectations of other people, um, and yeah, so yeah, that used to stress me out. But I'm pretty certain that I'll be fine. In fact, what I'll do once I move to the I could do it tomorrow, couldn't I? I could go for a walk around the village, and I'll walk around and anti-clockwise, and I'll walk on the right hand side of the path. So just to see what it feels like. Um, yeah, It's little things like that that I think I'm not going to I'm not going to you know go through those wild kind of emotions. I mean, my counsellor was saying that a lot of my problems stem from alcohol. Things like uh, getting into fights, uh, losing friends because you've pissed them off. Um, Basically, what um, going um, going out and having one night stands and stuff like that. And it's all kind of risky behaviour. And I really think that because BPD is kind of combated by CBT and talking therapies and stuff like that, and I really think that it's been exacerbated by alcohol, and that with coping techniques, I will be able to rein in my emotions so as I don't get massive highs and lows. As BPD, your moods change like very quickly. I In the past I could be massively raging at somebody, massive argument, like with my first wife. Um, Towards the end, we'd have blazing rows. I mean, she'd like chuck plates at me and everything, and I'd basically punch holes in doors. And then once that's all, um, once I got it all out of my system, then I'm like kind of calm then, and and happy. So that's what people can't understand with BPD is how you can just kind of flip your emotions just like that, and it is really tough. It is like being a toddler. You have to get your tantrum out of the way, and then you can calm down. So, like a toddler will cry itself to sleep, whereas adults just kind of move into a happy place. It's yeah, the alcohol has definitely been a factor for the BPD without a shadow of a doubt, completely and utterly. Every time that I've had an argument with somebody, I can't remember having an argument with somebody when I've not been drinking. To be honest, whether that's just like having a pint or whether it's having like 10 pints. So, um, yeah. So I don't know. I spent a long time after I left the prison service. Um, Basically from probably I had a period of unemployment for about 6 months. So from in that 6 months, I was desperately trying to find work. Nobody can survive on what is it, 60 quid a week or something. Job seekers, um, but I was always really calm. And then I did the job in care. I worked there for 2 years, 2 and a bit years, um, and I was just calm there. I just would not get involved in arguments, office politics, or any of that bollocks. It's just like, no, I I'm not interested. I didn't mean that I was a walkover. If somebody had been bullying me, then definitely I'd stand up, and tell them to, fuck off. But um, but yeah, no, no, no. There was no conflict or anything. And the thing with when I worked in care is I used to do shifts. So sometimes I'd be there for 2 days solid, without going home, and then I'd have like a day off, and then I'd go in for another day, and I never drank alcohol the night before I was going into work. Um, I did used to drink alcohol, but like I say, I kind of moderated it. Um, and even I mean, that was a much smaller amount of alcohol, and I'd probably go out once a fortnight for a big binge session. Um, but these last 9 months since my wife left me, moved in with somebody else, I've been caning alcohol, severely caning it. Alcohol does not remove the problem, but it just makes you feel fuzzy at night, and you can just kind of chill. up to a certain degree, because then there also comes that point where you think, "Fuck it, I'm going to ruin somebody's life, or I'm going to piss somebody off, or something like that," and it just leads to bad behaviour. And I I really don't want to do any of that anymore. I've kind of had enough of it. I'm 51 now. 51. I'm gonna chill out. Um, I'm waiting to see when they're going to pick the car up, because that's going back. Um, so yeah, it'd be buses and trains for me. And there's no point in going on like Plenty of Fish at the moment, because you can't meet up with anybody. I mean, I've chatted with a few people over the last, you know, month or so, but you can't meet up. But then I'm going to be at the point where I'll when the lockdown's over, I won't actually have a car, and so I can't travel anywhere. And it's quite difficult to date somebody when you've not got a car, to be honest. Um, I've got some cash that I can use to get a car, so it's not going to be a massive disaster. It's just going to be a bit of a ball ache, you know. I hate buying second-hand cars. I don't like that bartering stuff that you have to do. That's not bartering, is it? It's haggling. That's it. Um, but yeah, I do need a car, eventually, not straight away. Not straight away. I don't want to blow the savings that I've got, and with with not drinking alcohol, I don't think I'm going to blow my savings, because I think I'm on the meds. The meds are actually working. The best that they've actually worked for a long time. I'm on a pretty big dose of sertraline, and I think that the way when I got bad news this morning, the way I just kind of let it upset me, but then kind of, move forwards, and not not kind of let it get me down. And to be honest, it didn't. I mean, there were moments during the day where I felt a bit sad, but there's nothing I can do to change that bad news. When you get bad news, sometimes it's just bad news, and you've got to kind of deal with it, cope with it the best way you can. I've been rabbit on again. I'll probably stop in about 3 minutes. It's 30 minutes then. Um, but yeah, so in conclusion, the events of the last couple of days sincerely should have seen me drink a whole slab of lager, um, and just get hopelessly drunk, and then collapse on the bed. That was another thing. I'd sleep on the bed, but I wouldn't actually sleep. You just kind of pass out. So then when you wake up in the morning, you're absolutely knackered. But yeah, so that's what I would have ordinarily have done. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't feel that I need to do it. Um, and I'm just going to, you know, push through it. That's all I can do. When when um when I first found out that my wife was cheating on me, um, although she'd moved out anyway, so she just disappeared off the face of the earth. When I found out, that's kind of like the worst thing in the world, and I I did need alcohol to kind of get me through that, because it was like kind of really horrible. But you know these adversities are sent to try us. I was writing really sad poetry when I found out, about my wife, where she'd actually disappeared to and everything, and so all I was doing was writing sad, um, self pitying shit. And I don't really, I write novels, but sometimes I write poetry. I don't really write a lot of it, um, and I I wrote a poem today called "The Hurdler," and it was supposed to be about what do they call it? I can't think of it. Motivational, yeah, motivational. That Yeah. Well, I'm not going to read it out, because that's not what this is all about. But I mean, even though I'm facing adversity, um, I'm not losing my shit. I'm keeping it all together. I'm not drinking alcohol. And I, am I enjoying life? I'm enjoying life as much as a single bloke in his 50s can. The next big birthday I'll be 60, and I don't know. I don't really give myself much time after that. I know that when I hit 55, I'm going to cash in my pension. Because I don't think I'm going to live much beyond like fucking retirement age anyway. So if I cash that in, and I'll be able to treat myself to something nice. Um, I had so many dreams that what I was gonna spend that money on, and some of them involved my soon-to-be ex-wife. Um, but yeah, it's kind of amazing how dreams get shattered, and we sometimes pick up those fragments of that shattered dream and kind of change it slightly into um, something positive for ourselves. Like I I planned this year to do the tour of England, all the cathedrals and everything, and I was really geared up for it. And then we got the lockdown. But the reason I was doing that was because it was something positive to focus on when I was feeling quite down. Um, and it's definitely something which I'll consider doing. But the problem is, I'm going to be without a car probably. I don't know how long I'll be without a car for. It just depends. I'm not going to buy the first car that comes along. I want to kind of shop around a bit. But yeah, in spite of adversity, I'm I, d- am I happy? As I said, as happy as I can be, as happy as a man in his 50s can be when he's just um, received some bad news. So yeah, I'm gonna probably in a video tomorrow. I'll probably do it during the day because I always want to do these alcohol ones kind of later, like in the evening, because then we're getting close to 12 o'clock, and that's like another 24 hours finished, that kind of thing. Um, so probably in the afternoon, let's say, I'll probably do a video on how my mental health has been affected by relationships. In particular, over the last 9 months, which have been they've been very troubling for me. And that's probably why I'm sank into an alcoholic depression. But then I was put in touch with a alcohol counsellor about 6 weeks ago, and we've only spoken on the phone because we can't do face to face meetings. But she's very motivational, and like I say, she told me that don't just cut it completely out. But I've decided to, and I've told her that. She just said keep monitoring it because yes, you can have seizures if your body's particularly dependent upon it, and I don't think mine is. I'm not seeing things because that's another thing as well. You get hallucinations. Um, and back then when I first spoke to her, I was saying, look, I just want to cut down. I don't want to drink every single night. I don't want to get pissed every time that I drink. I want to just be able to enjoy um, a glass of wine or a couple of glasses of wine, even, and no more than that. Um, and that was initially the goal. But then about 2 weeks ago, I was I was toying with the idea of just completely cutting out. Mainly because my my belly has got very large, and I'm struggling when I'm exercising now. I get out of breath really easy. So, um, God, I've gone over half an hour. Yeah. So, yeah, the alcohol in the past has kind of ruined relationships. In some cases, it's not just been me that's been drinking; it's been the two of us, that kind of thing. Um, and that's always problematic when you're both drinking. That's just like a recipe for disaster. Um, yeah, it's kind of I just in a way I feel hollow. Um, it's it's kind of kind of tough to describe how I'm feeling because I'm staying in this positive frame of mind. Like I say, the antidepressants are obviously keeping my mood up. Yeah, and and the antipsychotics are keeping my mood down. So, but I'm kind of okay. I can laugh. Sometimes I'll sit there and think about horrible things that have been done to me and everything in the past, and that's when you that's when you need to be positive, need to have positive mental attitude, and just say, "Fuck that." Feel sad about it. Feel sad about it, but don't spend too much time thinking about it. Don't tear yourself up about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. If it's something that you've done, just just sit with it for a bit, and then fucking do something else and stay positive. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stay positive. Gone to 35 minutes. I'm not going to stay on any longer. I am going to actually. I might see if my hands are still. I might go back downstairs and do a bit more of that Lego thing. But failing that, I'll come up here and watch YouTube videos. But look, it's really great if you're coming along this journey with me, where I'm just. I want people to see what somebody who's drinking a lot of alcohol, and I'll discuss that tomorrow night as well. How much I was actually drinking. I'll I'll talk about units and stuff. I'll make a note of that so I don't forget. Because my memory is terrible. It was terrible. It's been terrible for years. Um, yeah. So yeah, if you're coming along the journey with me, you are actually seeing somebody who was a very heavy drinker. Has been a heavy drinker since his mid 30s, and um, sometimes really heavy, sometimes just kind of not so bad. But yeah, you're going to see what it's like for somebody that's probably dependent in some way upon alcohol, and I wouldn't advocate following what I do because A, it might kill me, although I doubt it, and B, it might kill you if you do it. So yeah, if you really need to speak to like your GP or an alcohol counsellor or both before you decide to cut it all out. And but you can watch what I'm going through, and I will try. If I've still got them shaky things tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll set the webcam up like downstairs, so as you can actually watch me shake. It's oh god, it's horrible. It really is. It's like I'm trying to put a little bit of Lego in something like that, and as I get closer, my hands just kind of jerk like that. It's kind of yeah, it's fucking annoying. Anyway, look, um, I'm really happy if you're coming along the journey with me. I wanted to share this with people, and all I'll say is, if you have been watching, thanks for watching. If you haven't, then there's no point saying anything to you. And stay safe. And I will see you tomorrow afternoon where I'll talk about uh, relationships and BPD and bipolar. And I'll take you through some, without naming names, I'll take you through some experiences and what happened, how I behaved. And it's about blaming me. It's not about blaming the other person. I mean, you can take some of the stories and decide to blame the other person if you like, but I want to. I'm accepting my fault in that, because that's the way you learn. It's no point in me sitting here moaning about somebody and saying it's all their fault, because none of us are going to learn that it doesn't really matter. We're not supposed to act out on all. I'm looking at the wall because I've got all these things all over it. Yeah, the borderline personality disorder, it can be controlled. So and that's what I'm hoping to do. So yes, I'm going to be honest tomorrow. I'm going to slag myself off, and hopefully you'll learn something as well. And then I'll see you tomorrow night, and I'll talk about how much I used to drink, and maybe you'll be kind of shocked, maybe not. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe.